Jujutsu Kaisen is one of my least favorite shonens in recent memory. The cast is flat, the story is garbage, the power system sucks, and there are more assholes than a Naruto chapter. I also understand, though, that this genre is more so meant for younger audiences, and these stories are just meant to be fun, silly adventures of people beating other people up with cool action scenes and the like. And in that aspect, JJK absolutely succeeds as an entry point for those who want to watch anime/read manga. So, after reading the whole manga, I was let down. But I also acknowledged it was not for me, and I just moved on with my day. But for one person, however, they decided to do their own ending of the final arc/series, and thus Jujutsu no Kaisen was born, creating their own version of events starting from chapter 236 until roughly assuming, 271. I say assuming because despite being announced in 2024, it only has 2 chapters to its name. Technically 3, but the first 2 are literally just 1 chapter split into 2 parts because fuck it. Yep, just 2's technically 3, and the quality is very inconsistent at points, as sometimes it has good art, and other times it looks AI generated, especially in that first chapter. Fucking yikes. Now, obviously, I'm not asking for the creator to go at the same rate as Gege did when he made JJK. Those were terrible working conditions, and Gege got sick multiple times throughout the production of this series because of this shit. Fuck Shonen Jump. But only 2, technically 3, chapters is still kind of pathetic for a series that's all about changing the ending and making it satisfy everyone. Frankly, by now, most people talking about JJK don't even care about the ending anymore, as they've either moved on to Gege's next project, getting hyped for the next season of the anime, or reading something else. This would be like making a fixed version of the Naruto ending, but by the time it's done, Boruto 2 Blue Vortex came out. Most of the audience who'd be interested in this have flown so far away from this by now, they're on the other side of the planet. So they probably don't give much of a shit if this series got finished or not, because they've either accepted the ending for the original for what it is, or just moved on to read something else. Hell, does anyone remember Attack on Titan Requiem? That was announced in 2021, and it's still not fucking done. Some people probably just Googled that name to remember what it even was. Because much like JJ no Requiem, a lot of its potential audience moved on to other series, or just accepted the ending for what it was. But okay, maybe they're taking a good long time to make this project. It must be because it's a worthwhile set of chapters, right? Nope. So the first 2, 3, I'm just calling it 2 chapters, who fucking cares at this point, are a much weaker version of Sukuna versus... Oh right, Hutch, and he's dead. Oh well. Oh, wait a minute, he dies the same way as in the manga, getting sliced off screen? How the fuck is that satisfying? You just gave us the same fight as in the manga, but with tracing up the ass, dialogue that either explains shit that we can plainly see with our eyes, or engages in telling not showing, and an artwork that is so heavily inconsistent from each panel/page, it doesn't beat the done by generative AI allegations. Like, I checked, and a lot of this is not AI generated, thankfully, but it's so inconsistent across the board that if you told me if it was Gen AI, I'd more than likely believe you. And sure, the way Hajime's death is treated is probably how most haters of this series would treat it, that being quick dismissal because of him being super forgettable as a character. However, I'd like to imagine if you're trying to make an ending that's going to satisfy everyone, yet put in a lot more effort to put some respect on these fucking characters than have them die and be like, next. Like, holy fuck, the original manga put far more respect on Hajime as he was dying than this shit, and we got to see a bit more depth to Sukuna as a villain, even if he is still flatter than a puddle, personally speaking. He at least gives enough of a shit to strike up a lengthy conversation with Hajime about strength and how love is worthless to him because he doesn't need anyone to fulfill him before he gets turned into Haji bites. But in no Kaisen, he gets sliced up and forgotten about. Unfucking believable. And speaking of respect, how about the author's lack of respect to Maki Zenin, who doesn't even get any damage on Sukuna's ass, has her own weapon thrown back at her, and has to be saved by Yuta even though she would likely be fast enough to dodge it, or at least enough to make the damage less than fatal. But you know what? Hey, maybe this author was just trying to do commentary on how Maki was treated in the manga. No, it wouldn't excuse it in this case since it's trying to satisfy the fans, but hey, maybe he was intending his commentary on Oh, here's Maki getting this jump on Sukuna in 251. And also not her getting fodderized by Sukuna, who is yet to go all out. Totally. Yeah, this manga had some dumb bits in its final arc personally, and that was just one of them, but whatever. Also, her giving it her best shot at Sukuna and even taking a black flash from a souped-up sorcerer, and while it did knock her out for a bit, the fact it didn't kill her is impressive. Hell, she tanked another one later. Seriously, despite my issues with the series, Maki was one of the few highlights of it for me alongside Choso. Anyways, back to no Kaisen. So one of the other recurring threads in JJK was the fight between Urame and Hikari, since it was basically dealt with off-screen in the manga. Does this story, that attempts to satisfy everyone with this ending, fix this issue? Nope! It just stops when Sukuna breaks the domain the two are in, and then it focuses back on Sukuna's fight. Wow, what a great solution to one of the problems JJK's final arc had. Congratulations. So what does Urame do then? Go and find Sukuna's last finger. They have no idea where to look for it. Sukuna doesn't know where it is, so I guess Urame's just gonna dick around for a bit on a wild goose chase, I guess. Sukuna didn't even know where it was in the manga. He thought Yuta ate the damn thing at one point, so how would either him or Urame know where it is? Fuck, this is stupid. Also, I guess Kanjaku's just watching TV instead of trying to do the merger, another element the Gege forgot about that I would have expected this author to fix. Because, oh yes, when I think changing the ending to satisfy the fans, not fixing the common criticisms is the best solution to this issue. Holy fuck, I hate it here. And see, I wouldn't even care that much about this alternative ending if it wasn't heavily advertised / treated as a big fucking deal. There's a reason I don't cover, say, fanfictions on this channel that do their own attempt at fixing the final arc of a shonen series, because those are often just the writer having fun, writing their own take on the final arc and showing their literary talents for the internet to see. But if that person were to then go around and advertise it as a big fucking deal and an ending that'll satisfy everyone that wasn't a fan of the original ending and hyped it up on social media to hell and back, then I would decide to take it seriously enough to review it. They want to act like a big production? I'll treat them that way. And as a big production, this fails on every account. From story, to its characters, to its panelings, to the fight scenes, to the dialogue. Nothing here works. However, does that mean this is irredeemable? Absolutely not. But I do think the author needs to take a step back and have some hubris. If this author just came out there and was like, hey guys, I didn't like the ending to the original series, but I still enjoy this series so much that I was inspired to try my own take on the ending. Yeah, it's probably not going to be as good as Gege's, but this is all meant to be in good fun. I'd probably be like, okay, I'll give this a shot and not go too hard on them because they're clearly doing this for fun. One has ego behind it, the other has humility. But all this talking, and yet I have yet to answer the question of if this falls under a spite work or not. And after reading what's available, I don't see this project as one made with ill intent or hatred. Just a passion project helmed by a team with an ego bigger than some fucking domains. So, that's all I gotta say on this for now.